Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Rockstar map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the northern side, and then we'll end with Team 2 on the southern side, also known as the blue team versus the red team. We will start with the western side. The isolated player for Team 1 we have as a UEF. It is Gappy4200. He is in Stitch Blue. He is a 1254 rated. To his east, we have on the northern edge, it is the Seraphim player of Martian. He is in Amethyst Purple as a 1486 rated. He's actually tied for the highest rated player on his team with the exact same rating. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that, at least in a ladder match. And that player next door to him is Appleman. Again, he is a 1486 rated in Royal Blue as an Aeon. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have a UEF on the western side, and then they have a Seraphim and an Aeon on the eastern side. They are missing the Cybran faction. Moving on to Team 2's isolated player, we have in Blood Angel Red, it is OriginalAngel. He is a Seraphim. He is a 1305 rated. To his west on the southern edge, we have in Orange to Color Orange, it is HABIBI-HABIBI. He is a UEF. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall at a 1497 rating. And then next to him, the one and only Cybran of the match, it is God of War playing in Chevy Crimson. He is a 1353 rated. So for Team 2 side of the map, we have one Seraphim in the east, and then we have a Cybran and a UEF on the western side. So again, Team 2 lacks the Aeon faction. Team 1 lacks the Cybran faction. And for the 6 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation before they scoop it all up. Currently sitting at 15,000 master reclaim, which makes it closing in on 3,000, but it's a little bit over 2.5k mass per player, so definitely worth writing home about. And Major Clumpage's upset reclaim, there really isn't anything over 500 or so. You know, we can see a clump there and a clump there, and there's 380 or something like that in the middle. There are some dotted in the west and the east. It's pretty much kind of this really nice little circular bowl of reclaim. Again, there's on the exterior edge, but for the most part it's in that or around that circle. And in terms of comm distribution, well, I think it's kind of pretty obvious. We have 2v2 on the east and 1v1 on the west. So it's going to be Team 1's Gappy versus God of War, and then on the eastern side we have Habibi and OriginalAngel for Team 2 versus Martian and Appleman. I will note again, Habibi's base is on the western side, but he moved eastward to assist with that attack vector because there's 2 players on Team 1 on that eastern side. So it just makes sense to make it an even fight. You could have it be a 2v1 over here for Team 2's favor, 2v1 in favor for Team 1 on that side, but I mean, you can do that, but just depends on how fast one side of the map crashes on top of the other. And you could eliminate a main base, but then you could do the same thing over here. And so essentially it turning in from a north v south game probably will end up being a west v east game at that point. But we'll see how the game shakes up. In terms of additional mixes, there's not really a whole lot for these players. Again, we have for Team 2 side of the map, the 2 starting locations over here. There is a splattering of mexes here with the Trimex and Twin Mex in that little circle there. And then not really anything on that eastern side. There's a couple of mexes along the central horizontal line of the map. Not really a whole lot, though. So definitely going to be strapped for cash this match in terms of mass. So players going to be very, very specific about what they spend their reserves on or anything that they can get. So every bit of reclaim, every little bit of anything on this map is going to be very, very important. We do see Team 1 comm action occurs between Appleman and HABIBI-HABIBI, and that is a one-sided affair because it is a gun speed / range comm of Appleman versus a non-upgraded comm for HABIBI-HABIBI. We do see OriginalAngel here as well. Again, gun upgrade started for Martian, so as he gets his upgrade on Martian, his assistance of Appleman is going to be great to be able to push into Team 2. We do see guns started for both the players for Team 2. And Team 1 has slowed their approach a little bit, but hasn't really let up just yet. Western side, it's kind of a interesting just amount of nothing over here. We do see, again, it's Gappy versus God of War. God of War really isn't playing as his namesake would intend, especially considering the God of War trilogy remake coming out eventually, or announced. That was really cool to see. Really excited for that. And we will see how that ends up going in terms of the remake. But anyway, we do see, again, Gappy's not really pushing him. We do see some units have been dropped off, though, by God of War. So at least he's attacking Team 1 in some sort of way. We might see more of a frontal assault. He might just go slow and methodical, which is entirely possible, because he's going for a T2 engineering suite. Nano repair started for Original Angel, and we have guns still progressing for HABIBI-HABIBI. He might go for his own gun, but he is back up into the green. He might not. We do see some Janus over the top for Team 2's HABIBI-HABIBI, pressuring Team 1's comms on the ground. And we do see, again, a large contingent of Team 1 forces. I don't see T2 really being prevalent just yet. We do see a couple of flak or something are inbound, but nothing too big yet. No T3 land. Of course, nothing for Team 1's Martian. And then in the west, we have T2 land. So T2 land and then air for the western side of Team 2. Nothing yet for Team 2's player of Original Angel. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have any sort of T2 facility yet, but because he focused a little bit more on his upgrades, which I don't blame him, because, again, any ladder match, every player's death will make a big difference. Again, that's kind of how it is in every game, but specifically in these ladder matches where it's smaller numbers per team means, if one player on Team 1 dies, that's 33% of their APM theoretically that's gone, because, APM is kind of a more unknown quantity just because it's hard actually to measure. We do see a little bit of burning of Gappy's frontline position here. I don't know why that Janus did a really weird slowdown, kind of like a strap bomber where you can kind of get it to hover bomb a little bit. We have eastern side engagement and western side engagement as well. I'm going to split things up just to get a little bit eyes on both sides of the map. We do see, again, Gappy is in danger a little bit, and looks like it's focused on the defenses first and then the comm. And with the gun nano comm of Original Angel and gun for HABIBI, they are able to at least keep Team 1 back. We do see Apple takes a large chunk of the damage there. Martian did as well. They're both almost in the red. It could be very dangerous here. If Team 2 sends their comms in, it could be a cascade effect of one comm dies and it's just boom, 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 boom. And we're just kind of left with the Western players so far for both teams, but we'll see if anybody ends up pushing in. We do see some T2 being built. Martian's getting pretty close. Does have to be careful because he is within striking distance. And again, Team 2 knows he's there. Team 1 PD, T2 PD has been built. Original Angel will take a little bit of the brunt of the damage from Martian. And it looks like Original Angel might push in again. He has gun and nano on board. Martian falls into the yellow. And it looks like things are starting to heat up a little bit more on that western side. We have some Cerberus PD being built. They're going to act as another just slow pushing in again. It's very methodical. It's not a huge rush in. It's just carving away of the landmass. Essentially, it's what's mirroring Team 1. But essentially, God of War is doing is, it's 1v1. So it's the same literal situation. Just there's two comms over here and there's one comm over here. That's it. That's really the only difference. In terms of eco, it's very slight difference in favor for Team 1. And I say slight, it's 6 mass a second right now, divided between 3 players. That's that's literally 1 T1 max. Yeah, some amount of mass, that small, maybe could make a difference, maybe, but highly unlikely that amount of mass makes a big difference. It can. It's just not that likely that that amount of mass will make that difference. But, who knows? Anything can happen in FAF. Do you see another just bombing run of Janus here from Team 2? So HABIBI doing a very good job of just constantly putting pressure and allowing God of War to really not have to fight a whole lot to push in. We do see a Triad has been built, and that's kind of stopping the Cerberus PD from being fully, online long term. So he might need to send his comm in. We see a little bit of some skirmishing between the air forces from both teams. Again, the interceptors from Team 1 focusing on the Janus from Team 2. That has netted them the win in T1 air, which can make a difference. It's not a big deal, And we do see a nice little radar situation that was denied by Team 1. So nice grab there. Again, the middle of the map, it's just kind of not really viable. You need either hover tech or amphibious units to really get to the other side of the map. And then even then, there's 2 choke points on either side. It's just not really worth it to go that route, which is why we see more focus on that more western and eastern front. And we do see some forces crashing again. Again, a lot of them for Appleman. I'm interested to see what Martian's doing. He's doing T2 air right now, going some Swift Friends. He actually got some Aeon tech donated over to him by his raiding compatriot of Appleman. And again, getting that online. Looks like maybe didn't want to go for the Team 1, T2, and then T3 stage. Just wanted to do some Swift Winds, which again, when your opponent is doing only T2 air for now, I mean, might as well do the T2 air thing and just build Swift Winds, which again are the kind of a midway point between Interceptors and ASFs unique to the Aeon faction. And the Aeons, of course, definitely have one less air unit in their disposal because Mercies aren't really a thing. I mean, they exist, but do they really exist, though, if no one really uses them? And even if they do use them, it's very limited. You hardly ever see them when we used to see them all the time. Missiles inbound, I would assume from some mobile missile launchers. Couple of PD, nothing too stopgappy from Team 1. If both comms push in, they would easily crack it. We do see now Jane is coming in to say hi from Team 2, and the Team 1 is prepared for that in some degree and denies at least one of those Janus, and the element is being shot down by Interceptors right now. I do like how they unfold and collapse together, very similar to the U-Wing from Star Wars. They don't go all the way out like the U-Wing does, but they do about 180-degree inset. I think it's like not a 270. It's pretty close to a 270, though. I don't think it's all the way around, though. Well, not all the way around, but it's that severe of a degree angle. It could be, but I just haven't measured it. Anyway, a couple more PD here now for God of War. And even though I'm not a fan of the Cerberus PD in terms of just raw damage, it's not really gonna... Did they not see that come? Oh, they don't see those units. Oh, that's interesting. Team 1's Mongeese cannot be seen, but Team 1 knows where they are. They just have a little bit better range. That's probably what it is. I'm surprised there isn't a radar system up that close. Kind of missing out on that, to be honest. It's just, look at that, barely outside of radar range. Looks like some units getting a little bit closer, and he just built a T2 one. Probably heard me through the ether being like, that is a good idea. I should probably do that. And then decided to do that. OriginalAngel now has T2 on board, going for... Okay, very interesting play, going for a stealth field in front of your opponent. I mean, it could work. I don't know if it is going to work, but... Yeah, I don't... Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you're going to... That's going to work. I don't know if you try to build a regular shield, but... Yeah, I didn't really see that happening anytime soon. And in terms of technology, in terms of what players have access to, both teams have UEF tech, both teams have Seraphim tech. The only difference is Team 1 has Aeon, and Team 2 has Cybran. That's the only difference between the two. I didn't mention that earlier, but thought I would bring it up at some point. Western side, actually, interesting enough, we see Team 1's Martian actually pull westward. Looks like he's confident that Appleman can hold that side of the map, or maybe they're just worried of God of War's continuing pushing, which is entirely fair. Looks like Team 2 and Team 1 kind of dying down on the action sort of things on the Eastern Front. We do see transport inbound with a host of... Oh, what are they called? Off the top of my head, they are Aeons. It's not Lobos. It's not Medusa. And it's not Zui. Ooh, what are they called? Oh, they're not Dams. Oh, they are Zuis. Oh, okay. He wasn't transporting the Aeon one. He was transporting the Seraphim one. I guess that makes sense because he is technically Seraphim. Anyway, Interceptor and some Swiftwind fight here. Team 2 is at a slight disadvantage, but again, not by much. Again, the Swiftwinds are just a little bit better than Interceptors, but ASFs would clean that up real quick. We do see HABIBI-HABIBI actually is pulling back. Don't know if that was because he saw what was inbound or just because he was doing that naturally anyways. Sniper bot inbound. Again, this set of mexes is dead, which T1 mexes, that's 2 mass plus a second. If they were T2s, which I imagine they all were, yep, that is 18 mass a second. That Team 2 is, well, between 18 and 27, just depends on they were fully ringed, or looks like they were being worked on at the time. In terms of those mass storages, it is still a chunk of mass. Team 1 is in the lead essentially because of that. Lots of missile launchers now online for Team 2. They are the mobile variety, so they're not as powerful as the stationary ones, but they can spam infinitely without having to worry about a whole lot. So there is that. They just infinitely spawn and fire missiles. They don't have to worry about spending the mass for them. We do see some blazes. Didn't have any fun on the water. And again, even if those forces did get even closer to Team 2 side of the map, I mean, again, 2 choke points, it's really not gonna do a whole lot. It just isn't. Unfortunate for Team 1, but at least they made the attempt. They probably won't make that attempt again. ASFs are online for Team 2's HABIBI-HABIBI. So we do see T3 land almost done here for God of War. T3 land not yet. T3 air is online for Team 1, so slight advantage in that regard. And T3 land is being worked on by Appleman. Do we see T3 land over here yet? We do see it. Yeah, I saw sniper bots. Duh. I saw that earlier. I made a comment about it. We have gunships now going after the same exact mexes for Team 1 that Team 1 targeted on Team 2 side of the map. And honestly, I think Team 2 so far has a better chance of killing off more stuff. Don't worry about targeting the mass storages. Just target the mexes. They took out this one as well, so that's 4 so far. We have an ASF for 2 nearby. They might get one more. They do get the one more, but they might get another one. It's not going down super quick. There is some AA in the area. They get 2, 4, 5 mexes. And now Team 2 is in the lead for the most part because of that loss in mass income. So good jobs rating both sides of the map here for both teams. We do see rebuilding happening for Team 2 now. He's probably going to ring those here shortly. And eastern side, Team 2 is actually making some progress here. Appleman is getting hit. He does have the first of the 2 shield upgrades as well as the Aeon Sniper configuration online, so the advanced range with the speed. So it's Aeon Sniper Mini Tank is what I call it, or Mini Tank Aeon Sniper, or whatever you want to phrase it. Transport gets shot down. That is probably from Team 1, I'd imagine. Drops off a couple of Harbingers. So, yeah, it looks like that's from Team 1 because they're going back that way. And missiles inbound. Actually, no, that's not missiles. That's artillery. So we have mobile T3 versus stationary T2. I don't know the damage stats, but I think the clean cameras might have this, maybe. Oh, it goes right for that artillery. Oh, it hits the shield. Drops up another trebuchet. Okay, now it's getting bad for Team 1 because that's a lot of firepower starting to be ferried over there. And I love this. Again, they could easily just, wheel their way over there or just use transports. Now, the only thing is that Team 1 maybe has noticed that, and they're also sending in their own transports with interceptors on board. Or not interceptors, I would assume Lobos. But both those do get shot down, so at least in terms of trades, Team 2 loses a couple of trebuchets, and they do prevent the landing of Lobos. So I think they might take that trade. Like, it's not really great, but it's better than, losing some mexes to the Lobos. They can always rebuild the units. It's not a big deal. And the reclaim is on their side of the map anyways, so it's not that bad. But the shield is falling in the base for Gappy. He has T3 land almost done. Here's about a little bit over half done. P-gens are going down. That's not going to help things for him. How's his power doing? It's not bad. He's getting some overflow from his teammates, but it's not looking good. Team 1, of course, looks like they're getting another transport inbound. Again, it's a small map. You can't see the northern and southern edges of the play space, so it is a small map. And just lots of artillery rating, and that's a mech's dead. We have transports. Where'd that transport go? I thought Team 1 had... Did they get shot? Oh, it's right here. Drops off a couple of Lobos. Just going after... Ooh, a T3 mechs. That's going to hurt. And the transport will get shot down, so that's unfortunate. But they do land at least one set of Zui, which means that Mex is dead. That's 27 mass for Team 2 is down. The Team 2 just gained a huge lead. Is that generate? Is that some reclaim? Okay, I was going to say, like, it's super high, but looks like they're being dealt with. T3 Mex does get destroyed, but the Lobos are denied, so not too bad for Team 2 and Team 1. They prevent further losses, but still, Team 1 is in the lead for ASFs. Looks like they haven't really engaged just yet, but it's just slightly in their favor, just on visual count. And we do see, again, a little bit back and forth. You cannot slip by that edge of the map. You just can't do it. You can transport or teleport if you have SACUs or the comm, but I don't think it's worth it jumping that close of a distance. You can just transport up, down, and call it a day. We have sniper bots online for Team 2. Again, lots of longer range options. Got to keep those things moving and away from the incoming aggression. We do see some bombers. Team 1 bombers are actually effective use of firepower dealing with the sniper bots. You do see it's like 3 bombs, kills off, well, a couple of them in this case because they were tightly packed, but it kills off 1. So it's enough to do a chunk of damage to a small group of snipers. And it doesn't really cost as much as the snipers cost, so it's a nice way to be very efficient with your mass. But again, it just depends if you can even drop the payload. Does it even matter? Maybe. But you see Team 1's assault is being slowly depreciated. We do see, again, those sniper bots helping out a ton, dealing with the remainder of the more tankier, more offensive units. And there's one Harbinger and the comm. The comm has to be careful, though. He could easily get cornered by gunships, but Team 1 said no to that. And now we have an air fight. Ooh, looks like a pretty good engagement. And Team... nope, that's... it was good for Team 2, and then it was not good. So Team 1 wins the air fight. They're about a squadron or so ahead at this point. Yeah, a little bit over that. We do see, again, Appleman still charging. Does have to be careful. His primary shield is down and has to fully regen before it can be activated again. There are sniper bots and a ton of mobile missile launchers firing at that location. Appleman, you got to keep moving. You're going to die if you don't stop moving, but I don't think it's going to matter anyway because those snipers are going to get you. And you get some veterancy at the last second. Will it matter? You have to target the sniper bots and get them out of there. Like 2 more shots will probably be enough to kill him off. And there he is. Team 1 loses the first player of the game. OriginalAngel scores first blood, and it is now a 3v2 in Team 2's favor. And I will note the primary base for Team 1's Gappy has been essentially destroyed. So we have a player on the eastern side of the map getting double base and another player on Team 1 that has not that much to his name. And there is a long aggressive line inbound from Team 2. So it's going to be definitely how fast can Team 1's Martian utilize that extra eco, and how fast can Team 2 utilize the fact that Team 1 now has less APM to target stuff on Team 1's side of the map and cement not only their economic lead, but their comm and APM lead at this point. We do see a couple of gunships inbound. Are those Volthus? No, those are Spectres because he has Aeon. I keep thinking he's Seraphim, which he is, but he officially has Aeon Tech now, so that makes more sense. But again, Gappy is essentially out of the fight. Not necessarily completely, but for all intents and purposes, he's pretty much out. And we do see Teethway land facility over here to the west here. It looks like he did build a backup one, so at least there's that. He's going to get some Titans, it looks like. Definitely a good unit to deal with the less numerical units for Team 2. Again, very much a longer range engagement in terms of land units. Again, lots of missile launchers, sniper bots, artillery units. Again, nothing really directly confrontational. Definitely more on the side of things that I like to do in terms of RTS games. At least not this one, but my Empire at War playthroughs, I do kind of the more longer range units and use a couple of units to really tank a lot of the damage. So that way you can get, again, essentially glass cannon-y and just do a lot of damage very quickly. So it is, man after my own heart doing a lot of those longer range stuff. But sometimes you need something with a lot of bruising punching power, like some Othams or some Perseus or whatever else. So we might see a little bit more of those here shortly. The match is about half over. We've had 1 death so far. Everybody did make it past 20 minutes at a bare minimum, so I love to see that. Almost 30. Almost, but just need a couple more minutes alive. Team 1 starting to catch up a little bit. The lead was definitely a little bit more devastating for Team 2, but about 150, 160. There is a Monkey Lord on that western side. That's going to be hurting. Team 1 and Team 2's ASFs not looking terribly in one favor of the other. We do see a couple of strats, though. That's going to probably maybe shift things if Team 1 could get a kill on Team 2. Let me know down in the comments again who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because, again, I don't know why you wouldn't after the stellar coverage I've given so far. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Again, if you have any replays you want to send it to me at the email down in the description, or just make a comment and send it to me that way. You can also do that. It just depends on how you feel. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. We do have a RAS being built on OriginalAngel, injecting at least his left arm with some mass. He might do a RAS and inject both arms at the same time with some mass, but for now it's just the one arm. We do see another... No, was there an air fight that I missed? Looks... no, they're over here, so no. Looks like it was just interceptors and maybe air scouts or something. That Monkey Wood is still charging forward. Team 1, do you have any knowledge of that? Nope. Maybe they saw it with a flyby, but we do see pings. Well played. Haha, GC. Okay, so we have a GC on the eastern front for Team 1 and a Monkey Wood on the western front for Team 2. Trolls here on my side, says OriginalAngel. Lots of engineers here for him. He's going to try to get out of there. And is Team 1 going to push with that? And you might as well, at least, again, kind of even the score with bases. Because, again, it's no base, essentially. And there's a base still here for Team 2. That would kind of even out the eco a little bit as well. Your opponent made a GC, says... I think that was OriginalAngel who said that. Looks like there's comments about moving the GC inbound. He has 2 bases and more mass from the start. And that Monkey Wood, again, thinning everything else out. There should be another one. Is it going... Nope, it's not going east. It is going west. Lots of engineers here. They are trying to build a chicken, but not going to be fast enough. Again, the chicken, even if it does finish, the GC is going to stay out of Ion Rainstorm, so good luck with that. Ion Storm Range. I think I said Ion Rainstorm, I think is what I said. ARAS has been built here for OriginalAngel. That's 33 mass a second for him. Essentially, it's a little bit more than a T2 mechs. Sorry, T3 mechs. But he's going to be losing all these mechs here. Definitely these ones here. Again, a couple of broadswords is nice, but all these mechs are dead. Essentially, he's going to be destitute besides his comm, so not looking too great. We do see some Corsairs. That's going to help a little bit. Again, I kind of would have expected to see this go that way, just to maybe help, but doesn't look like it did. ASFs are going to engage. Nice job that they're waited for Team 1s to flee first. Corsairs haven't been given orders to attack yet, but look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one got missed, but 7, 8, 9, 10. There's just so many dead mexes for Team 2. Gunships and Corsairs are inbound. It will be a chunk of mass from the reclaim wreck of the GC, but again, it's going to take some time to scoop that up and some time to actually kill the GC itself. It's at 4-star vet. It might actually get to 5, and now HABIBI-HABIBI's mexes are under threat. Looks like he does have the advantage in ASF count. It is UEF versus Aeon, for any of those who know, again, the exact details of which ASF, I was going to say fighter, but ASF unit is better. And we do see a Monkey Lord in the pond to the north, near the comm of Martian. Martian's going to get the comm under attack notification.
Commander under attack.
There it is. So he's aware of like, well, what's shooting my comm? What's going on with it? Oh, shoot. Okay, I got to deal with that now. GC still inbound. 5-star vet at GC. We see ASF still trying to deal with the gunships. 20,000 hit points and falling. It might reach some of the air facilities. Some being the keyword in that statement, because it might get maybe an ASF producing facility. A nice little... I got some E-storage, which isn't terrible. Pigeon is targeted. Is not able to destroy it, but some E-storage is better than nothing. It did most of the damage, again, over here to the east. So essentially, we do have that kind of west versus east scenario essentially forming now. Exactly the way I thought initially would form anyways, which is Team 2 on this side and Team 1 on this side. I am semi-surprised that Gappy hasn't been given over a base yet, just to, again, help with the APM load. We do see a GC about to intercept that Monkey Lord, or the Monkey Lord about to run into the GC. Best thing for the Monkey Lord to do is try to get... Nope, it's not going to. It's going to get... Boop. Laser's not turning. Oh, that's unfortunate. And Strap Bomber over the top is going to help a little bit, 3,000 damage. And honestly, it's not going to have a time... Yeah, it's going to turn around and try to fire. It will not get anything, which is unfortunate. It might have been better to just try to stay in the water and just annoy Team 1. GC inbound. So we've had 3 GCs, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. And PD are opening up. Kind of looks like something out of a... You would build out of some of the campaign missions. Monkey Lord, brick inbound. Monkey Lord's going to actually help out a ton. If it can tank the damage, the PD can stay. And then that way you have a defensive position to be able to scoop up the reclaim. And 1-star vet versus No mass pretty much killed. 18th. Yeah, the GC will lose that fight. And the Monkey would get some veterancy. So a little bit of a small bonus. Small bonus. In terms of eco, we're essentially back to where we were earlier. Team 1 is slightly in the lead in terms of eco. Again, it's all Martian. Gappy has 1 mass to his name because ACUs produce 1 mass a second by default. We do see Original Angels down here proves just how some players are here on FAF. What is he? I don't know. It's sad and disgusting at the same time. Yeah, non-troll teammates would have given me a PGen and 5 e-storages. Looks like he's annoyed about something. There's conversations in chat. Of course, it's sometimes I completely even forget that those are there. But those of you, of course, that can actually reverse the video, you can go back and read all of that. I can't do that, unfortunately. You can't rewind replays. I wish I could, but I can't. So that's why I have the picture-in-picture for the moments where I do miss calm deaths. We do see a Fat Boy coming online here for HABIBI-HABIBI. It's going to take some time to get that online. Essentially, Team 2 is now limited to monkeys and crabs because essentially all the Seraphim tech is gone for Team 2. Team 1 has lost out for the most part UEF tech, but again, they still have a comm. He is building UEF facilities to try to, again, at least at a bare minimum, keep the UEF tech available to Team 1. But if he dies, again, those facilities will stay there if they're not destroyed and give access to the Perseus and, of course, the Titans and all those other juicy UEF units and structures. Omni's online for Team 2. 38 minutes on the clock. Again, I was going to say, at 30 minutes, it kind of was looking like Team 2 was starting, not entirely, but starting to kind of run away with it. But now it's pretty much evened out at this point. And honestly, I think Team 1 might have a slight edge, eco-wise, a little bit more. And we have, again, OriginalAngel still here, so it's still a 3v2. We have reclaiming efforts here from Team 1's Martian to just annoy Team 2. What does he say? No, I want to see you lose, says OriginalAngel. So, I don't exactly know what the issue is there, but Team 1's getting a little bit more reclaim from Team 2. Not by much, though, but it is starting to expedite just because of all the T3 mexes and all the other structures that were here earlier that Team 2 no longer has access to because they're all gone and destroyed and whatnot. On the other side, there's another attack inbound. Looks like reclaiming efforts are underway, but it's going to take a little bit of time to actually finish it. Team 1's going to at least try to, bare minimum, just prevent the complete reclaiming of that GC. And that GC is already decently damaged. The Monkey Lord is still about a little under 50%. He needs more stuff, whether it's bricks or crab or another monkey or something over here. I don't know what he's planning on just yet. It'd be interesting to see if Team 1 or Team 2 went for a nuke because neither team has SMD in essentially their base because it's not... Oh, actually, no, scratch that. There is an SMD there, and it is starting to load. So Team 1 went for a nuke. That'd be an easy way to end the game. You just put it right there, and you essentially kill off that to that, and that'd be the game right there. One nuke would win the game either way at this point from both teams, unless that SMD gets loaded. But again, there has to be a nuke built for Team 2 to be able to actually build the nuke and then fire it fast enough. There are 6 strats. There's a wing of them inbound. Looks like they may be going for OriginalAngel. It is going to be enough. Actually, no, because he's at 18,600. If all 6 land, which only one of them actually dropped a payload, he's not under the pond. That struck me as odd. Are they going for a different target then? Because again, each bomb dropped by a strat is 3,000 damage. And then you times that by 6, it's 18. Sorry, I'm zooming in and out a bunch. He has 600 hit points on top of the 18,000, so he would survive an initial bombing run. If even one payload after that dropped on top of him, he would die. He does have nano. He doesn't have ARAS, though. Sorry, A advanced nano or A nano or, beefy calm nano. Martian to the north commented about OriginalAngel. Why not make Torps bombers? We do see the GC is now heavily damaged, but again, that wasn't the point. Even if the GC did die, the point was to crack the position. Team 2 did have a crab inbound. It just needed a little bit more time to get there. And unfortunately, it's not going to get there in time. The facility and everything that was here is gone. And, those Harbingers do have reclaim abilities to be able to scoop up some, reclaim, but they just haven't used them yet, I guess. AR fight in the south, and it's going to favor Team 1 just by the sheer numbers. There is a smidgen of AA, and there's ASFs waiting to probably target the gunships on the ground. But that is an air win for Team 1, sitting at 75 ASFs to essentially none. So that's air dominance for Team 1. That might just be a de facto win at this point, just by the air, because they're already here. Again, if they stay here too long, it's not going to be bad. And the gunships are going to try to get out of there, which they do. It's just one of those things where now Team 2 doesn't have air anymore. They don't have the eastern side of the map now. They're losing the western defenses over here. It's definitely one of those poke and prods. And again, Team 1 is down a player. So the fact that Team 1 is doing all of these just poking and proddings and whatnot and doing very well at it just goes to show. Essentially, Team 2 is playing a 2v2 game with OriginalAngel kind of just there. He doesn't really have, again, much to his name at this point. I like how he has just a bunch of power generators over here. It's just Team 1's, but, you know, it's some power. And he's starting to poke and prod, and there's not really a whole lot down here. But, again, at this point, 43 minutes in, he's not going to get his base relatively online in short form to be able to make a big difference. I mean, it could matter, but we'll see. In terms of Team 1, are you playing anything big? I mean, you really don't need to go for artillery. You could just go, yep, straight GC and some strats and call it a day. Again, there's a Mega with charge and say hi. There's a GC that is heavily damaged. And even though it has now almost 120,000 hit points, it is not going to regen fast enough to be able to fight that Megalith in the short term. Long term, eventually, but not right now. Fat Boy in the pond. Team 1 still, look at this. Team 1 is still reclaiming on Team 2's doorstep, and that's essentially how Martian is actually funding his operation, is just getting all of that reclaim. And honestly, I think those forces, for the most part, were handed over to him by Martian just to help, again, rebuild. We have T2PD trying to be established to create some sort of buffer to be able to get something online, but yeah, Team 1's not going to have that. Nope. Again, all the Fat Boy has to do is just poke a little bit more out, and then they can start bombarding the engineers. They might be worried about the... Is that 12 strats? 10. It is double digits. Do they see Team 1? And they see the comms of anybody else for Team 2? No? I was going to say, does Team 1 see the comm in the middle? But that one of Team 1's commanders. Everybody else from Team 2 is actually in that southern edge pond besides OriginalAngel, who's just on the cusp of it. I mean, yeah, they could go for Twort bombers. That would be interesting, but just Team 1 has no idea. They might just bombard OriginalAngel at this point. ASF's killing off a bomber, 2 bombers. They get 2 of them. That's better than nothing. Still no... Oh, is that a Billy Nuke from Team... Oh, no! Oh, this is going to hurt. Boom! T3 Air is knocked out. Omni is knocked out. That is devastating for Team 2. That is amazing. Great job there. That's what he was using on that mass for, was to fund a Billy Nuke. I don't know if it's play of the game, but it was definitely hurting Team 2 for sure. And yeah, it's just not looking good. I think the only hope for Team 2 is just try to rush it in with another Megalith and just full send it in the base. They have a nuke online though, so we shall see. Team 2 again does not have an SMD online, so that's unfortunate for Team 2. And Nuke will wipe out that remaining base though. And for the most part, HABIBI-HABIBI has been severely kneecapped in terms of his ability. And there's another one inbound. Did Team 2 get some TMD online? They did get some TMD online, luckily, so that would have been very bad. But that would have probably been game-winning move right now if both of them hit. But nope, not yet. So, but lovely attempt, though, from Gappy. Lovely attempt. He did not quit the game. He's still fighting with it, even though his base was been knocked out and he didn't get a base handed over to him by his teammate. You know, sometimes you don't hand it over and you win. Sometimes you do hand it over and you win. Sometimes you do neither of those and you don't win, or you do it and you still lose. So it's not a guaranteed success if you hand over a base or not. Nuke is just passively loading. More focus on GCs for Martian. We have 2 Megawitts and 3 GCs. Again, there is that GC that is still heavily damaged, but at least it's not as bad. It's up to 23 instead of 9,000. So it's better. It's not great, but it's better. And 47 minutes on the clock. Again, it's just this This is still a concern for Team 2. This is starting to be a concern for Team 1 and Team 2. It honestly just depends on who reacts first, like essentially who just does the flinching. And 2 mixers are dead for God of War. It's not looking good for Eco for Team 2. He's up to 42,000 mass killed. I mean, he's doing very well, to be honest, given especially his situation. We do see Mexus, so they're being nipped away by Team 2 on that front line. So it's nothing too bad. It's not great. It's not bad. I will note, of course, the UEF and Cybran engineers do not have hover, so torpedoes on board those bricks will target them and destroy them, as we saw. But the GC is going to deal with that. Again, try to ride the edge of the map. You might as well stay out of range of that GC. Another Megawith. Actually, not another Mega, but another Billion Nuke lands, killing off some hit points for both of them. The GCs are lying in wait. Now that this GC has actually fallen back, it is a really good engagement for Team 2. And we do see those GCs are going to probably push in. There isn't a lot of assisting forces nearby, so that's going to hurt Team 2. And they're going to start... Oh, they got... Oh, no. Got to get the turn. Got to get those units facing the right way to start walking back. And they are not walking back. And that first Megawith is going to get killed off pretty quickly. But the Harbingers are doing very well at kind of making this more of a 1v1 situation with experimentals. There's, again, really no bricks here for Team. There's more over here. You got to send those that way. They need the help. 1 Megawith is down. Kills off nothing in its crash damage. And now Harbingers are behind that Megawith. Now we have another GC inbound. So that's not looking good for Team 2 on the northern front. Southern front, a little bit of fat boy pressure. Nothing too bad. But again, Team 2 is in recovery mode. At least HABIBI-HABIBI is. So, you know, Team 1's able to exert a little bit more pressure on Team 2. We have a ton of Corsairs inbound. And I don't know if they're going to get the GC or not. Hits the shielding. And not really. It looks like the ASS went over there for some reason, but there's not really many GCs remaining. Corsairs remaining anyway. Lots of AA. Can't do anything against the ground units, so that's not helpful. And we have Torp Bombers in the pond against Gappy. Gappy, you got to get out of there. Team 2 spotted you. Oh, it's close. 1,500 hit points. It's only going to take a couple more. He just needs to get his feet on land. And he does. Oh, that was close. 55,000 mass killed. Again, he did very well for himself in the middle. He's probably going to go home. I do not blame him. ASFs came in to protect him. Again, he got out of there just barely, even without the ASFs there. Definitely helped out. So great quick thinking there. Transport's going to get him up and get him out of there. Again, definitely a smart move. Is the transport full health? No, it's pretty much full health. And he's going to get a little bit of repairs going. Waiting to board that transport. There he goes. Get out of there. Because you know Team 2 is going to target you. Again, we do see the forces from Team 1 did pull back. But that engagement to the north is proven to be maybe a detriment to Team 2, as there's just a direct line to God of War's base. Nothing big exciting. No Megawiths, no Monkey Lords being built. He does have a Cybran commander, which means Telemazer is on the table, but he hasn't gone for anything in terms of that just yet. 51 minutes on the clock. We've still only had 1 kill, and that was on Appleman. And it's just not looking good for Team 2. Again, you have possible fighting back on the south, but this line looks like actually God of War transfers everything over to HABIBI-HABIBI. Either he's going to... He can do it before I finish my sentence, but he's either control K or just not do anything, but he's going to control K. So it's now a 2v2 game. I mean, it's not a kill for Team 1, but it is at least a semi-forced departure. And here comes the bombing run of some Team 1 bombers. It's going to annoy the fatty, kill off most of the shielding. And it's going to be a little bit helpful, but the Fat Boy gets probably a little bit too close to that GC. And yeah, that's a dead Fat Boy for Team 2. And we have those 2 GCs inbound. There's nothing here that can stop this. It's just going to be a win for Team 1 at this point. Again, very good job, Gappy, going with the Billy Nuke, staying with it, even though you didn't have much to your name at that point. Team 2 just got hit hard and got denied. And there's the replay. It's just over right there. But again, I don't know why the replays are just like some of them are ending like a little bit too soon for whatever reason. But there is the game. Team 1 wins it most definitely. There is no argument to be made. Again, maybe God of War could have gone Telemazer and maybe done something. Team 1 did not have that many PD emplacements. I mean, they had some here protecting kind of the nuke and the SMD. I bet Team 2 didn't even know about the nuke or the PD emplacements. They knew where the comm was. And they probably knew where the other comm was in the pond to the north. They had some idea. But I just think once that trading of the sides of the map happened, it just was in Team 1's favor, and then it was just a slow roll to the end. But again, let me know down in the comments what you felt about the game overall. Thank you so much for watching the very end of the video, and I will see all of you in the next one.